Broadcasting for an early morning flight. We're going to take off here out of Port Clinton. Going to try a couple of stops. We're going to kind of head out to the north over the lake. Maybe try to put in at Put In Bay, bounce over to Kelly's Island, then going to take our flight over to Toledo Executive. Just enjoy some time here in our Cessna 337 Skymaster. Go ahead and get into our cockpit. Nice looking model. Do like it. Just still pretty new to me, so still trying to figure everything out. Parking brakes are on before we start anything. Let's go down here. Check all of our options. We're going to turn all of our static elements already off, the external power, the tow bar. You don't see the pilot and co-pilot in here, but when we go outside and look, you'll get to see them. Maybe not yet. I don't know. I haven't got them all worked out. So if we open our doors here, baggage door, give us a better view of our aircraft. And there you see everything. Here are our audio elements. We're going to go ahead and close things up. We're just going to take it with the default hardware, everything that's ready to go here, and see what we can make happen. We're going to leave it cold and dark, and we're done. Alright, so doors are closed and latched. Flight controls are free and clear of any kind of locks. Alright, fuel selectors, front engine. Get move this out of the way. Fuel selection is front engine, left tank. Get that switched. There we go. Where we want to be there. Alright, we'll get this out of the way. There you can see our pilot and co-pilot hang out. Alright, next up. Mixture is to rich. Let's that's that. There we go. Mixture is rich. Check. Propeller to high RPM. Check. Elevator and rudder trim. Rudder trim is good. We're going to set this for takeoff trim here on our elevator, right to that mark right there. And we're on trim there. Check. Cowl flaps are open. Well, maybe. Okay. My switches show them on. Alternator check, engine instruments check. You know what we haven't done yet, which is kind of crazy. Wing flaps down to 1/3. The problem is we haven't turned on any power. Alright, now we're getting things coming alive for us. Let's try those cowl flaps. There they are. They're open now. As you can see right here. Gear selector is down. I got the green light. You can't see it because of the vantage point, but there it is. There's that green light. Looking around here. Alright, fuel selectors. We got all that done. That's our landing checklist. Alright, so next we're going to turn on our weather radar here. May see some weather today. I don't know. There's a little bit out there. Crack our throttles up just a little bit. And now we're gonna start our rear engine first. Alright. We've got it. Our gyro is starting to come in now. We're at 1500 RPM. Probably going to back that down just a little bit. We'll leave it as it is for right now. We got to start the front engine. As you can see, there's nothing going on outside the aircraft. Only the rear engine is going. Now, honestly, probably should have started the front one first and held the back one off. Pressures and temps are looking okay, but that rear one might start to creep up. Here's our exhaust gas temp and our cylinder head temps. We're going to keep an eye on this stuff throughout our flight. You also see a representation of it over here. This is an average. These are each cylinder temperatures, so you can tell if you got a problem. So we'll let this all kind of warm up here. We're going to turn on our beacon, nav, strobe, and taxi lights. Landing lights are off at this time. And let's see, we are setting right off the runway there. Let's get a quick ATIS update from our tower and see what we get on weather.
Kilo Papa Charlie Whiskey, automated weather observation 1100 Zulu. Wind, calm. Visibility, 10. Sky condition, few clouds at 1,900 feet. Temperature,
3006. That's what I want to hear. Okay, two things I know now. Number one, we got to set this. There's 300, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There it went. Okay, so we're good. Now, I saw this a little bit last night. Not certain I'm set on it just yet, but we'll work it out. All right. So now, everything looks good. Our pressures and temperatures are all looking good. Over here, fuel status looks good enough for this flight. We're turn on our transponder. Put it in altitude mode. Our ADF is working for right now. Let's go over there and tune on it for a second. Let's put you away. Our automatic direction finder. Now what we're going to do is we're going to tune. Oh, here comes Mrs. Willits now. Stand by. Sorry about that. Give a brief little bit of loving to mama, always. And that's what I'm looking for. And it was one of those. So 432 is the automatic direction finder for where we are currently setting. We're going to use that at all times. Alright, so now our automatic direction finder is going to report where we are in relation to PCW. Where we want to go is just north of us here. We're going to go to put in base. So we're going to checking this out on my KPCW tab, and then put in bay is 3W2. So we're going to fly out of here for 7 miles on 022. It's going to be a small little island just to the northeast. Probably be able to see it once we turn that way. You can kind of see it. Kinda. Oh no, that's actually the land. Well, we'll get there. There's a big fly on my screen. Alright, so anyways, we're good to go now. We're going to put our brakes on, take off our parking brake, going to move a little bit. We're going to take off runway 7 here to our left. Because we have 2 engines, it moves pretty good. Rolls around alright. Oh. Hey dude. That's my taxiway. Give it a little bit more here, just gets back to rolling. Alright, here we go. Hold short line. This is runway 36. So we're going to take off due north, and then it's going to be off our right-hand side on the island out in the water a little bit. So we're going to get in spot. Port Clinton traffic, November 320 Sierra Michael, taking off runway 36 for north departure. Alright, so looking straight down center line, we're a little, there we go, about right there. Alright, we're going to set these parking brakes for just a quick second. We'll do a quick run up. Climb power is 25 and 25. So, right there, we're set on our RPM, we're ready to go. And away we go. Oh, right off the bat, kicking the rudder too fast. Give it a little bit of left here to keep it in spot. Blue line on our speed there, it's 75 knots is where we want to be when we take off. Coming into the arc, we're there, and she's just wanting to lift off all on her own, which is perfect. We're at blue line speed. Coming up, gear up, flaps up. As I said, put in bay is going to be just up. Let's get that darn thing again. Main island just out over here. We're climbing at about 1500. Probably going to have to trim down a little bit. Don't want to catch too much in the way of climb because I don't want to get too high. We'll go up to 2,500 feet and level off. Put in Bay is a kind of a summer destination here in Ohio. A lot of folks like to go there and partake in a few festive beverages. It's a nice little place. It's a kind of a tourism spot in northern Ohio on the lake. Lake Erie, of course, is the lake I'm talking about, one of the Great Lakes. Coming up on 2,500, so we want to keep an eye on it. We're going to kind of turn this way. It should be that island just to the right of the nose there. And here we come at 2,500. We're going to trim down. There you see, just at the edge of the island, I can see the runway now. We're still climbing a little bit, but that's okay. Try to keep that. We'll not go any higher than 3,000. 3,000, we're getting into these clouds. We don't want to do that. We're going to make our turn right here and just kind of set up. That is put in bay right there in front of us. Bring this altitude back down a little bit. Yes, I know. I don't have my gear down, and I've got the throttle reduced. Now, there's a lot of tourism happens on this island. You come in down here on the south end of the island. Your ferry boat brings you in right here. Then you take a road. You go up this way. The airport's right there. So we're going to aim for that. Now, off past this, off to the right, just say about 1 o'clock. That's the That's going to be Kelly's Island, and we're going to take a small jaunt over there after we do this. We're going to stop down here and let the passengers have a drink. We're going to go ahead and slow down. Yes, dear, I know. We're coming down now. Put-in bay is going to be at 595 feet. So we want to get around 1500. We'll be in pattern altitude. We're coming in now. Put-in bay, this is November 320 Sierra Mike. On approach, down for left downwind. Put-in bay. We're doing pretty good here. Now right there, that's kind of the entertainment area. This area right here, that's where all your bars and stuff are. Right there, it's not modeled, but that's Kelly's Monument, which is a monument to, I don't know, the War of 1812, or I don't know, some war that I can't recall right now. Terrible of me that I don't know the history of that. We're at about the right spot, so we're going to go ahead and... Oh, you know what? We can't do this. It's a right pattern here, so we got to do this all over again. What does that mean? Okay, so a right pattern means you can only make right turns when you're in the pattern. So we're going to fly out past it, around it. That over there is Middle Bass Island. There's a small strip there. I don't know that I'm going to mess with that one. We're going to try to stay at altitude. We're going to bring this around for a tight turn. Bring it back around. We're holding altitude. We're holding speed. We are giving a little bit of back pressure here. We're losing a little bit of altitude, but I'm okay with that because I need to be down to pattern altitude before I enter this pattern. Alright, so here we go. So now all the turns I'm going to make, we're going to land on this heading, right? But we got to do a pattern circuit. But by the navigational charts on Sky Vectors, this is a right pattern. So, in theory, at pattern altitude, let me bring us back up here. This darn thing's always in my face. We should cross this field at the center at a 45 degree, which we're going to do. Right now, our heading is 2-1, so that's... So we're going to go around here. We're going to intersect at about a 45 midfield. To the pattern. You can see there's already some on the field, and 2-1 is the marker on the field. So we're gonna go ahead and fly us around here and get us back on track. So 2-1 needs to be right there. We need to be 180 degrees away from 2-1, which we are. As you can see right here, 2-1 is at our south point. Our heading at our 6 o'clock, it's at our 12 o'clock would be 3, which makes sense, right? 210 minus 180 equals 30, or 21 minus 18 equals 3. So we're right, 180 degrees off. Here shortly we're going to turn ourselves back to a base. We're going to try to bring this speed down a little bit more. Maybe let's go ahead and drop the gear. Landing lights on. Drop the gear, get to a point where we're in the wide arc on our speed. Put a flap down. We're going to make the right turn and start coming back around. Kelly's Island, 320 Sierra Mike, inbound for landing, runway 21, put in bay. So now we're coming around. We're going to turn until we see the airport coming to view. We're going to line up on runway 21, which should be coming anytime now. I'm losing altitude in this turn, which is okay because I'm going to have to lose altitude to land, right? There's the runway. Now we're going to, let me sit up in my seat a little bit so I can see it. Give another notch of flaps here. Bring the speed down a little bit. There you can see right off the nose the light flashing on the other side of the bay. That's where we took off from. Here's where we're landing. We're at 80 knots over the numbers. Feet up onto the pedals. Taking a look now as we come in on put in bay. This will be our first stop in this excursion. Short flight from over there to over here. There's a state park here I really want to go camp at, but it's going to cost me $200 to get the camper, the truck, and me and wife and the kid over there. Maybe we'll just do a tent camp. I don't know. Work that part out. Oh, I was going to say, keep that bus over there. We're a little goofy here. Yeah, not bad. We're down. Put the brakes on. And Port Clinton traffic, I'm sorry. Put in bay traffic. 320 Sierra Mike clear runway 21. Put in bay traffic. So that's the first hop here. Not bad. I don't know if my Sim Pro toolkit was... Yep, I did. Oh, it said, yeah, you landed, you dork, at 308 feet per second. Still going to have to work out some of these landings. But we have arrived. Alright, we're going to just go up here and park a little bit. Maybe. We'll love to move her on. And that's a good place. Put the parking brakes on. We're going to kill that rear engine so it doesn't overheat. Let the front run here. Got a little verklempt. Alright, so not a bad little start flight. We're going to kind of see how things go. We're going to go from here, this is put in bay, over to Middle Bass Island. I'm sorry, Kelly's Island. So, let me get this into my VFR flight planning. Okay, close all that out. And do some work here. We're going to depart. We're going to, I'll tell you what, let's just fly over Kelly's. Let's overfly Kelly's. At that point in time we can see it, and then from there we're going to fly over towards Toledo Executive and we'll arrive there. So in the grand scheme of things, we are outbound out of here on 107, so we'll probably take off on that 210. 210 is going to be a good number, or I'm sorry, not the 210, the 3. 3 will get us kind of pointed in the right direction to go over overfly Kelly's Island. Then once we hit Kelly's Island, we're going to turn back to the west and head back over to Toledo. We'll land over Toledo Executive. Be a nice morning flight here, you know. Weather so far is looking good. However, if we check, oh, that's what I wanted. Got that going, so that's nice. If we look here, as soon as it loads in, I'll bring it over. I don't know that it's going to be an issue for us, but I don't know if you can see it or not. But over here, we've got some weather on this SimUse map. So we'll see what we can make happen. Alright. Let's go ahead and restart the rear engine. Because, you know, we're saving fuel. One more click. Alright. Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, climb back aboard. You've had your drinks. We're going to get back in configuration for takeoff. Not sure if I'm digging this paint scheme or not, you know? Everybody likes them as the OV2s. I'm not sure. Alright, so we're going to need 1 notch of flaps going in now. We're going to go down here. We're going to turn our RPMs all... Nope. Our RPMs are going to come back up. We're going to put the parking brake on. We're going to take our throttle up and get reset for climb power. Oh, I said we're going to put the parking brake on. So we're going to reset our RPMs here for where we want to be, which is right about there. 25 manifold, 25 RPM. So 25, 25. We're going to slow that down because I don't want to go barreling off on the taxiway. But here we go. Put in bay, November 320 Sierra Mike, taxiing for takeoff runway 3 for east departure. Put in bay. Truthfully, there's no ATC on in my area, but it's just a good practice for me to get into. I'm trying to improve my VATSIM skills, which suck remarkably. Ah, coffee, the sweet, sweet nectar of the gods. Now we're going to use full threshold takeoff here, just to make sure I get enough power, because there are some trees on the other end of this runway, so I want to make sure that we're good. As a matter of fact, we are going to change our plan for takeoff. We're going to go full RPM, full manifold pressure, just to get us out and above on a good path. Then once we're in the climb, we'll rectify that and bring it down to 25-25 for climb power. Alright, here we are at the end of the runway. Landing lights never were turned off. Probably something I should have turned on. I'm going to turn on the pitot heat because it's not quite that warm yet, but we're getting there. Alright. Put in bay traffic, November 320 Sierra Mike, entering runway 3 for east departure. Put in bay. Alright, we're looking straight down. Parking brakes on for just a moment as we bring everything up. Let it spool up. I want full power takeoff, both engines. And away we go. Parking brake released. Point it down the runway a little bit. $60. 80. Blue line, here we go. We're up. Get some good climb on us here. Landing gear coming up. We're going to set our heading bug to 107. As we climb, we can go ahead and bring those flaps in. We got the climb that we needed now. So what we want to do, I'm going to see if I can find something to, maybe some scenery or something here. I mean, that's not too terribly wrong. That's kind of right. Alright, we're going to climb up to 2,500 here. We're still on takeoff trim. Climbing at about 1,500 feet per minute. That's about right. We're out over the north end of Put-in Bay. A couple little cool things here. I mean, I got a great picture of my wife at the butterfly house. It's beautiful. She's beautiful. And for some reason, she puts up with this old guy. I don't know why, but she does. Alright, we're going to go ahead and start leveling her off. Let's retrim. Let's look down here so I can see it. Let's retrim this aircraft back where we want it. Problem is, it's kind of difficult right off because as you level off, you pick up more speed. So, as you get more speed, the trim of the aircraft changes. See, we're getting up too high. We're getting back into those clouds again. I don't want to be in those clouds. We need to stay. Let's go back down to 2,000 feet. Because 2,000 feet is 500 feet below those clouds. They're right up at about 2,600. So we're going to come down a little bit. Try to come down a little bit. I'm not doing anything just yet. I'm holding it down. And it still wants to climb because we're... Oh, I know why. 25 and 25, dummy. Okay, now we're majorly diving. Let's get our head back out of the cockpit for a second. Look at that. Right at 2,000, but our speed is way too high. Oh, we're out of phase. What's going on here? Now we're where we want to be. Alright, just about 2,000. We're going to try and get in here and overfly Kelly's Island. Now my trim's finally caught up with me. All it wants to do is dive. Welcome to Kelly's Island. It's not quite as touristy, but it's still beautiful. Still out here on wonderful Lake Erie. There's another state park out here. I gotta look at the map and see exactly where. Let's turn the auto zoom off. There's supposed to be a oh, there it is. I see it now. It's at about 11 o'clock, right over here with the green light flashing. So we're going to overfly that and take a look at it. Don't think we're necessarily going to land there, but let's see what we can see. I'm thinking grass strip. Maybe. It's certainly not modeled very well. I'll give it that. So yeah, it's a grass strip right there. Right in here. As Slant Alpha would say, that's looking suspiciously airstrippy. Let's go ahead and reduce that RPM just a little bit more. We don't need climb power right now. What am I thinking? What are you doing? Pull the manifold pressure back to about 20. Probably have to do a little speed trim here. Actually, I think we're doing pretty good. Let's give it a couple notches up. One or two. Won't take a lot. All right, so that's Kelly's Island. Looks pretty agricultural here, but I doubt that it is. I haven't really been there. So, anyways, we're now going to turn, and we're going to go. Let's set a course here. 266. That's where we want to be. We're going to turn left 266. We're going to go ahead and turn the autopilot on. We're going to tell it put an altitude hold, which is right there. But the altitude hold's going to say, oh, hey, look there, it actually did it right. I don't know where the bug is, if it's in, let's give it a little bit more out. Let's go up to that 2,000 feet, vertical climb, 200, 300 feet. We'll climb back up to that. I don't know if the bug is in the plane, Microsoft Flight Simulator, or in the control panels that I have, but usually when you go to the altitude mode in the control panels, it, oh, crap. Yeah, I didn't like that. Why now? Oh, I have to pick out an aircraft. In 321, there, yep, fly now. Do you see where I'm at? Oh, it sees me now. My SemTool Pro Kit is zooming in. Alright, so now we're on our way, kind of on a track to head into land. Looks like it says about a 14-minute flight. Don't know if we're quite going to be there. We can toss this. Let's get something going on in our... Just go to direct. This is not always the easiest thing to do. You got to kind of... It's an acquired thing. 3... Oh, that's wrong. Let's see. Toledo Executive. Where is Toledo Executive? Oh, that's absolutely wrong. So let's go back here. We're going to go here. We're going to go K. TDZ is what we need. Okay. I really wish I had a knob that I could assign to this. Would make it a lot easier. T. There we go. Enter. And we're going to activate that. Alright, so it says that we need to be on a course 24 or 253. We're going to go ahead and turn to that now. Alright, so we're on it, right? 156 knots across the ground. It says that we should see Toledo Executive here in about 11 minutes and 50 seconds. You can see the countdown happening. Now, I don't know if we'll see it or not, but there is a nuclear power plant that we should fly in the proximity of. Let me unzoom myself. Where's that sucker at? Oh, it's right there. We actually, if our track maintains, should be flying right over that sucker. Oh no, no, we're way off course. Oh no, we're actually going to turn south. See if maybe we can pick that out. Let's go 18. Let's go 180 for right now for a few minutes. Let's see. Once we see land, we'll see if we can grab the coastline and go in that way. Well, I see an airport directly ahead. That's going to be probably PCW where we took off initially. That's Port Clinton. Yeah. So let's go ahead. That's too far to the south. Let's go ahead and cluckety cluck. 180. Let's go 2-4. Turn right heading 2-4. This should probably point us in about the right direction to see if we can, to see if the nuclear power plant is in fact modeled here. I don't know. Maybe a little less. Let's go 230. Should put us right on track for it. I'm thinking that this area right here is the complex where that nuclear power plant is. What is the height of that stack? That'd be a great question. Cooling tower is 493 feet. Yeah, we'll be all right. If we even have to worry about it, it should be there. I don't know if it's modeled here. I do know in the scenery that I have for X-Plane 11, it is modeled there, but I don't have this plane there yet. I think I'm gonna get it. I kind of like this 337. Flies real well. Correndo did a great job with it, I think. I may end up at some point in time upgrading to the other Garmin unit that replaces both the nav and radio and this. It's a much easier to use situation. It's a touch screen. So we'll see. Wait a minute. Let's I thought I saw something over there. Okay, so you see that? That is actually, I believe, on. Yeah. So I can see that on the chart. And based on the chart, this should be the power plant. Which, boo, you don't get to see the big old cooling tower that's right over here. First time I saw it in X-Plane with my son, I about pooped. I was like, oh, look at that. That's huge. You said that's what she said. Oh, wait. Wrong audience. I'm sorry. Oh, no audience. We have nobody watching. That's okay. I'm just getting comfortable talking again and seeing what's up. So yeah, there's the complex where the nuclear reactor is on Lake Erie. It's the launch complex. No, I'm kidding. Let's try that direct from here. We're gonna enter direct. Oh, come on. So now it says we get to turn this dang fly down here. Now we're going to turn to a 253 as it's reporting here. This is where we need to go. We're 20 nautical miles out from Toledo Executive. Toledo Executive has altitude of 623 feet. The pattern here is whichever way you choose. Standard pattern is going to be to the left. Let's see what the ATIS reading says. It's at 3007. So we'd only have to kick up 1 notch to get our altitude right. I'm not tracking that, but okay. Now, it does not have any kind of runway 4 and runway 32. So we're probably gonna go, I don't know, we'll figure it out. I got RNAV approaches for runway 32. I don't know if it's gonna pull it up or not. Let's go over here, procedure. Select our crapola. Enter. Let's go, yeah, runway 32. go with the Wimlu. We're put on nav mode. I still kind of slightly struggling with this, but we'll see. All right, so we are now at 1,700 feet. We're a little bit high, but that's okay. Let's see. Toledo Executives Cessna 337 320 Sierra Mike inbound for landing, runway 32. Hawkbow. So we're going to Hawkbow. We're going to turn to 321. Looks like we're getting a little bit of haze out there. Let's take a look here. Is there anything? I'm not seeing anything on the old radar. Okay, well, nothing on the radar at this time. That's a good thing. All right, at Hawkbow, we got to be at 2,200. So let's go ahead and start descending down to 2,200. Actually, we're gonna have to climb to get to pattern height. This darn fly keeps flying around the studio here. Okay. Almost had him. Turn the flight director on. Nav 1. Don't have anything. Okay, so there's no kind of instrument landing system at Toledo. We're coming up on Hawkbow as we can see on our map, right? We can see it there. I think I got the fly. I know, you guys can't see it, it's okay. We're zooming along here. Hawkbow's coming up, which means we're going to make a right turn. We're going to start descending. Let's go ahead and drop our gear, bring our speed back a little bit. Speed coming down once we get in the wide arc here. I don't know if it's going to do it, but we're going to turn and get our 321 set. Heading. We're just going to go ahead and do it. We're going to drop some flaps. And we're going to go ahead and kill this autopilot because we're out of the groove. It turned us way early. We need to start dropping altitude, so I'm going to start slowly descending. Try to get back over here to Setya, which is 1.6 nautical miles from the runway. Let's bring it out here, and then we can turn it to the right. The airplane's going, what are you doing? Go ahead and pull that speed back a little bit more. We're not quite where we need to be. I turned this early. I'm still struggling with the nav system here, so I should just not try to use it and fly slant alpha. Kind of cheating. So we're a little low for this particular point that we're at, but we're going to do what we need to do here. All right, so coming around to 321. Slowly, we could probably lose some of this turn. We're doing all right on speed. Seems to be kind of foggy up here this morning, so Toledo Executive 320 Sierra Mike 2.3 miles to the southeast of the field for a landing on runway 32. Full stop, Toledo Executive. Alright, now it says there's a runway up here, but by golly, I ain't seen it yet. I don't see the beacon. We're going to give a little bit more power because I'm going to have to level off. And I think those are the airport buildings directly in front of us, but according to the GPS, I should be staring directly down, but the weather conditions here are a little poopy. Ah, I see it. There's something looks suspiciously airstrippy. And there's a beacon light. Okay. So we now have the runway in sight. We're going to get back over on groove here. And we're going to kind of sit up in our cockpit a little bit. I always like to be able to see the tip of the nose, or at least as much as I can of it. So, oh, we're getting frame hits here. I don't know what's up with that. There's nothing around here. Oh my God, that flies back. He's laughing at me, going, "You didn't get me. You didn't get me." Oh, look there. There's a poppy on the left side of the runway. It's all red. So I'm gonna have to climb a little bit here until I get a red and a white. May not get it. There we are, red and a white, and the lights just came on in the studio, which means Mrs. Willits is coming in. I thought. Okay, we're on profile. We're crabbing a little bit. That's okay. When you cross the airplane up like this, it tends to bleed off airspeed, so I'm trying not to do it. It is kind of fun. Kind of like drifting a car, only you drift in a plane. Alright, here we go. We're going to keep our head out of the cockpit now and kind of take a look at our runway here and just try to hit it. There's Highway 280. It's a bypass. Coming in, we're going to be a little off center line, but we may be able to kick it at the last minute and put us on. Whoa, that's a big kick. Settle it in. Be interested to see what it scored me on that one. So here we are at Toledo Executive. Small little regional airport just to the southwest of Toledo. Alright, so we're gonna go there. Whoa, kick on them brakes, warm them up. We're gonna make this turn. Alright. Toledo Executive, November 320 Sierra Mike, clear runway 32, taxiing to parking. Alright. Run up here and shut her all down, check and see what's going on. It seems like I had a page a second ago by the lights. Wow, Beach Disco was our last song. We went all the way through that playlist. Huh. Kind of like it. Let's see if we can find some more in the good old creator studio to do, but not bad flying this morning. November 320 Sierra Mike, Toledo Executive Traffic, crossing runway 4. Toledo Executive. Nothing coming. Nothing coming. Check our paths, you know what I mean? This is where safety third. Little bump to get us over that hump. And I think later on today, I'm going to go eat breakfast, but I think later on this morning we might take a flight from here up to good old Kalamazoo, Michigan, home of the crazy Chupan aluminum and plastic sales and the Air Zoo. Be heading out that way later on this month. My son absolutely loves going there, going for our company picnic, which is always a great time. Mr. Chupan does a great job of taking care of us, and since he makes it possible for us to go, I really appreciate it, and I always feel like I'm kind of, I don't want to say obligated, but I feel like it's something I should do. I don't want the word obligation to be in there, but it's more a thing. You know, he takes good care of us, so I want to make sure that we take and represent what he wants us to do and be as a company and at our plant, and I believe in what we do. So, anyways, thanks for riding along today, and we're going to turn off all the lights, kill the avionics. Batteries are off. Put it to bed. We can go ahead and let's go ahead and put our static elements on. Oh, yeah. Static elements are on. Okay, which means we should have wheel chocks and blocks in the nose. We can turn the external power in, so that way we don't have any kind of issues when we go to restart. I want to thank you for flying along today. It's WNFS Broadcasting, which of course stands for We Need to Fix Something. Actually, it stands for something else on the S, but it's YouTube kid friendly. You can use your imagination. Thanks for flying with me today, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye now.